Hey guys, Talia Brooks here. I'm so excited to do the makeup for the Taste Music video today because I watched it for the first time. The outfits, the makeup, the concept, love the whole thing, literally. Like, oh, it's so good. If you haven't seen my other shorts where I did makeup inspired by Sabrina Carpenter, feel free to go check that out. But I just want to say thank you guys so much for all the love on those videos, and I hope I can live up to your guys' expectations today on this tutorial. Like, first things first, we gotta get the hair out of the way. Like, it's just gotta be out of the way. It's too much. So our reference photo today is gonna be the funeral scene, just because I feel like that's where her makeup was like the easiest to really see in lighting. So I did my skin prep off camera just because everybody's routine's a little different, and all I really do is moisturize and some sunscreen because I have really sensitive skin. So just do it however you normally do it. And if you don't normally do it, I don't know, just start with a little moisturizer. Like, see what fits for you and your skin. Anything else makes me super oily throughout the day. So today I'm gonna start with base, and we're gonna be using Revlon, sorry that the glare's right there, Color Stay. This one has SPF in it, which, like, love that for us, because then I don't have to like use as much as my other one, except for like in the places that burn. Oh, that just dropped literally onto my black jeans. RIP. Now I'm just gonna go in and, you know, blend this all out. Make sure you don't use a matte foundation for this because we want a really natural finish on our makeup. So any type of matte foundation is not gonna exactly give you that glowy look that Sabrina Carpenter is kind of known for. So you could make it work, but I would not recommend using it necessarily. Here's a tip, especially like around your nose where you like get any spots that the foundation doesn't quite get there or like starts to crease. Take a flat brush and just lightly, just, you know, like you're almost doing concealer, pull your nose a little, make sure you get all the way down into that crease and just blend that foundation out so that your finish is like more seamless. Like, see how it kind of like blends better? Now that we've finished our base, we're gonna do our contour and our concealer. Honestly, CoverGirl that's what I always use. It's cheaper, like I like it. And then like the NYX like contour wonder sticks with the highlight and the contour, I always get them. They make cool tone and warm tone ones. Today I'm gonna use more of a warm tone because Sabrina's makeup is always like, I just got like a fresh tan type of thing. And so we're just going right here. I'm gonna do some on the forehead just because, again, we're going for like fresh tan. Right here on our temple a little bit, our jaw. Oh, also, I'm sorry guys if you've been following me for a while and you're like, where's the content? See that right there? Don't worry, everything's fine now, but I did fall and crack my chin open, and so I had to wait for it to heal before I could do makeup again. And then I'm just gonna go on the bottom of our nose here and up here, and then just right there, and we're gonna drag this down. Okay, so that's where our contour placement's gonna be. And then with our concealer, we're gonna go make a triangle because we really want to highlight this area under the eye. Pull it that way, triangle here, pull it this way. We're gonna put some on our chin because we really want to highlight the chin. A little bit in the center of the nose, right here, and then right in our T-zone. I'm going out and blending all these highlight areas on the cheeks and on the chin, because these are places that like we don't really want our contour in. And as far as the chin goes, I'm just bringing it around the lips really. T-zone, I'm dragging out and up because don't forget we have that in there. And then I'm just going down the center of the face. So as far as blending our contour is gonna go, I start with the nose. I just blend in place. I sometimes will add a little more after if I'm not 100% happy with the look. But I'm just kind of letting also that extra little bit of concealer that's still on the sponge blend over into my eyes and just pull that over to create our base for the eye makeup when we get there. And now for the cheeks, I'm just going up and down first. And now Sabrina, like her face is very round, but she's got like, it's snatched. So we're pulling this down and it's going straight down. We're not trying to like create any new shapes or anything. We're just trying to highlight what's already there. And so we're just bringing this down. And then as far as the jaw, same thing goes. We're just following it. Drag it down to the neck if you have a little too much. We don't want to bring any of the contour up, especially if you're creating a round face illusion. When you go up, you start getting too narrow, too snatched, and it kind of gets rid of that rounded look like that her makeup is known for. Okay, now that it's all blended, see, we've started to develop that like tanned, glowy look. And now this is the point where I go in with some setting powder. As far as setting powder placement, under the eyes, obviously. Same with over here. On the chin, I do some. Cut right under the contour on both sides. My T-zone and the nose. That's where I place the majority of it. And then what I do is I pat it into the most important spots and I pull away from the face so that it's like spreading to the other parts but without really changing the quality of any of the color that we've made, because the concentration of the powder is in those brightening spots. And so I'm just pulling this up and away. And I'm really getting in there on the sides of the nose to make sure that we don't get creases in those spots that we've put that extra foundation. And then forehead, same thing, pulling up into the hairline. Everything that works on your forehead should go into the hairline. You're not trying to create a line of unblended and stuff. But again, if you have like bangs or like curtain bangs or anything, you can kind of hide that. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Okay, here's my blush brush. Here's my highlight brush. It's basically like a little itty bitty mini version of it. I prefer to use powdered highlight and blush, and I think it's better when you're first learning because you have more control over it, where like when you're first learning, you're not really 100% sure of how much to use with the liquid blush and highlight, and it gets out of hand really quickly. In this video, her blush is a little bit darker, so I'm gonna go with this sparkly, almost darker pink, where normally I'd go for like this really bright one. I'm gonna go with this one today and maybe include a little bit of this. I'm just gonna circle this, right? Put our palette down, pick up my little mirror, and always dab off the extra. Super, super important. And so we're gonna start right here today, not all the way close to the front, but like a little bit out, and drag up, following that line we created with the contour. And we're just gonna go in a circular motion. We want the darkest to be in front, so that's why we start down here and come back every time. And that circular motion is just gonna build up the pigment slowly, so that you can kind of see when you should stop, like, oh, that looks good to me. Like, that's what I want. Now that we've built that line up, I'm just gonna add a little bit onto the apple of our cheek and come up to the eye. And we're just patting because we're just trying to build a little bit more color there. But we want most of the color to be pulling on the face. So you kind of see the blush when you go around, but not where it's like overwhelming everywhere. Okay, now that both sides are even, as far as putting makeup on the apple of your cheek, if you smile, you can see it really outlines that for you, and you can just go in and give that a little pat. pull that color into that area. See, there we go. Now we have more of the iconic blush, and this blush has a little bit of sparkle in it, which gives us more of that glowy look that we're looking for. And as far as highlight goes, we're going to take our little brush, and for the highlight that is in the blush, I'm going to go with more of like a rose gold. Circle it around, tap it off, and I'm just going where that light naturally hits. Just really emphasizing where we get that natural glow anyway, and following that line. And just, you know, eyeball it. If you think it's enough, it's enough. If you want some more, go for some more. And then any highlight that's anywhere else in the face, as you can see, I used a lot of it. I'm going for more of like a basic neutral gold. And I'm just going to go right here and a little bit on the nose. I have more of an oily face, so I like to stick to the nose and the cheekbones. You could do a little bit above your lip, but a little goes a long way with that because you can get into like a sweaty lip territory. You can also put a little bit of highlight under the brow bone. But yeah, so there is our base makeup. Now let's move on to the eye makeup. Okay, so I'm almost gonna do everything today with this one palette, with exception of any of like the black tones she's got going. I'll obviously have to use something else for that, but this is just a Nicole Miller New York eyeshadow palette that I got for Christmas in like a little set thing. So anything with these types of colors, because we see that she's got the brown going up here, but also that it's got a hint of like pinkish in our light colors in the crease. So let's get started. So I'm gonna go in with this first, and I'm just gonna dab that on to any type of puffy brush like this. Dab off the extra, see, there it goes. And I'm just gonna come up here, and first we're gonna do a little circular motion to create that darker tone there, and then I'm just gonna drag it this way, right above our lid. And we're just gonna start slowly building that color as we drag it in circular motion across here. Now don't worry, you can get it on a little bit lower because we're gonna cut that anyway later. So as long as you're just slowly building the color here, and you're just gonna keep on building that shape. Next, once we're happy with like how that color looks, I'm gonna go in with this. Any color that's close to your skin tone is gonna be best. And I'm going right above that line of where we just blended to, and I'm just gonna go right on top of it. This is gonna help us create more of a seamless blend between the color we put down and our natural skin tone, so that it's not like a super harsh line that's being created while we're blending this all together. And it helps you kind of create those shapes a little bit better as you like are working through it. See how we're just kind of we're buffering that line a little, just so it's not as harsh and not as aggressive, because this isn't a super aggressive eye makeup look. Next, I'm just gonna go in with this brown. Again, not too much, very little on the brush, tap. This is just gonna create that shadow that goes right here. And this is where you wanna stay tight. You don't wanna drag up too much into that beautiful color we've already put down. You wanna kind of stay down here, around where our cut crease is. We're just adding that depth, adding that color in there. And again, just drag it around, a little circular motion. We wanna keep the darkest parts out here. And now if we look at her makeup, put it right there, we're gonna see that that brown is kind of actually our central focus out by where the eyeliner is. So we're just gonna add a little bit more color there before we bring it in here. And then see, we've kind of developed that same color going on. It's just all blended beautifully. Now we're either gonna lay down an eye primer or concealer. You can use whatever you have for this part. You can use a small brush like this. I'm currently not going to use this one because it's obviously pink, where it's got a slight curve on it. Or you can use anyone that's kind of thicker. Or if you can't find the one you wanted to use, you can use anything like this, like the brush we used earlier. And I'm just going to go in, get a little color on that brush. And now looking at the shape of how the crease goes, we're just going to start right in here. And I'm just dabbing that on first because we don't want to get too aggressive with it. We don't want to get rid of all our hard work of blending earlier. So we want to just drag and follow the natural shape of our eye until we're just bringing that on up. Now this is like obviously not the best brush to use for this because it's a little stiff. And I'm just bringing that color to like about here. We're not going all the way to the end of our eye. We're just trying to cover and create that shape, that rounded shape of a clear base for us to continue working on the color. Now that we're happy with that, I'm just brushing all the excess powder from our last few colors, testing it on my hand, getting that off my brush. And now I'm going in with this light, very bright color, and I'm just gonna go over where we placed that concealer and that color because I really want to make sure that that stays and that that pops, creating that bright, vibrant shape for us. And now if we really look at her makeup, she's got like a little bit of pink there, so I'm gonna go back, grab a little bit of our pinkish color, and I'm gonna kind of blend that with the light color that we've already put down, just kind of help create that dimension there and add to it. Now this isn't like a super important step or anything. If you don't feel like doing it, like the light color will get your point across, in my opinion. And we're just like adding that, building that color into the top of that crease there. Now we're gonna do our under eye, and we're just gonna go in with that same brown we've been using, and we're just gonna go right along the lash line, right there, pulling up into our color above, and we're just following that. And we don't want to bring it all the way to the crease, but we want to get kind of close. And then just blending that out there. Again, you don't want to go super heavy with this because we don't want to create any like super harsh lines. So after we put that down to make sure it's blended, go back in with any type of skin tone color and just, you know, lightly brush along the seam to try and really blend that out, blend it into the face. Next, I'm gonna add our little bit of sparkle, not a whole lot. I'm not gonna actually use that gold that we have in our palette. I'm actually gonna go back to my highlight and see how I have this nice like pinkish color. It's not fully rose gold, but it's not gold. You could use like a lighter gold too. But I'm just taking a little bit of that on my brush, and I'm gonna go inner corner first, and then I'm just gonna tap it into those bright areas on our eyeshadow. We're not looking to change the color, so try not to pick something too different, but make sure you get that highlight. And then we're just gonna go right down here in the corner a little bit, and again pull up into that color. There we go. It's a little bit of shimmer. We don't have too much shine going on this time, but you can always add more or less based on your personal preference. Next, we're doing our eyeliner. The It Superhero Liner. Bro. I have never had like a felt tip eyeliner that hasn't dried out super quickly, but this, every time I open it, it's like, it's so great. I've been using it for like a hot minute now. So I'm just gonna start out here, and we're gonna do our itty bitty little wing. Bring it there. With this look, we don't have a super big thing, so I'm just gonna start here and just go right along the lash line. It's not super big, not super bold. And then that line we made right there, I'm just gonna go from almost the end and drag it right down to meet that lash line right there. And then I'm just gonna fill in any gaps we have. And then again, making sure that we connect that. And then we're just gonna like really stay super tight to the lash line here, because the eyeliner is not a super big thing on this look. And then to add a little bit more dimension, we're gonna take an itty bitty bit of black, tap it off, and just go right in the corner here where that brown is. We're just trying to deepen the color a little bit, make that blend more seamless. And then when we do our mascara, pull it out. After we curl our lashes, I don't show that on camera because I hate how it looks, and I know other people do too. We're just gonna go right at the base, wiggle it first to get all those chunks off, and then pull straight slowly to the end. And then our bottom ones, we're just gonna go like 1, 2. We don't want to go super heavy on there. Any type of like smudge, wait till it dries, use a Q-tip to get it off so that it doesn't smear and ruin your entire makeup. Okay, so I did the other eye off camera. Now I'm just gonna do my eyebrows. First, brush up just to kind of see where like most of our filled in areas are. And then I can't find my thick one, so I'm just gonna use my itty bitty, and I'm just gonna, her brows are like really thick and full, so I'm just gonna go in and kind of place some color down in any of those spots that are like gaps, and really just create that base shape in the brow. And then once I put that color in, we want to blend that color out. So I take my little brow brush again and wiggle and just pull. Wiggle, pull, wiggle, pull. And I'm just going to do that all the way through. And then I'm going over the top here, the brow arch right there, and kind of bring it down. Yes, guys, I do need to pluck my eyebrows. It's really bad right now, but that's okay. And we just create our shape there. Ta-da! And then anywhere else that you think like, oh, that needs work, or like, oh, something doesn't look right, go in and just add a little more color there. And then if you have brow gel, feel free to slick that down. But easy as that. Okay, next I'm gonna do lips. And I don't really have a color that's like a perfect match. So I have these two like lip liners, and this is like a wine color and this is just a berry color. And I'm gonna kind of make it work. We're just gonna kind of see how we can make this happen. So first I'm just gonna go in with the berry and just really outline my lips. Okay, I did it super thick because I want to have room for it to really blend together. So now I'm going to take the darker one and we're going to go in super light right over top around the edges. So after I've drawn it, I'm just taking my finger and I'm kind of just blurring some of that a little bit. Right over top, create that dimension. And then I'm gonna go in with a color like this. Guys, this is so old. I don't even know if they have these anymore. It's like Lottie London Stay All Day. And I don't even know if the shade is on it anymore. But you know, you have a general idea of the color we're looking for. And I'm just gonna go right in the middle. And then to try and like really blend all those shades together. And then if any of your edges you feel like look a little too messy, just really go in with a concealer and highlight all those areas and really get those clean lines, and then just blend that on out so that you're happy with how it looks. And then I'm gonna take my lip gloss. This is the shade Electra, and it's more of like a pinky natural gloss, so I'm gonna use that to kind of lighten up our center here, because again, like, I don't exactly have all the right products that are the exact shade, but we're just gonna get as close as we can. And I'm gonna take this darker one and just go in those darker spots. And now let me go do my hair. I'll be right back. And there we go. Honestly, I think it turned out really good. And I think we did pretty good with the reference photo. Obviously, like, my hair's a little grown out from when I last did a look by her, but honestly, still slay. Like, yes. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and it was helpful. Let me know if there's anything else you guys want to see in the future, or anything else that you would like to learn more about. Have a good day. Bye.